Bolton,
including the Women's Super League,
Ellen White is there to tap it in,
the UEFA Women's Champions League,
Lana Clellan striking from outside the penalty area,
and the Euro 2021 qualifiers.
On the edge of the area to Emsley, and Emsley's going to finish it off.
Plus, all the home nations' international friendlies.
Lucy Bronze with the strike from the edge of the penalty area.
World-beating big match conversation.
There's Jodie Taylor.
Subscribe now to the Women's Football Weekly podcast on Acast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Leicester City against Arsenal from the King Power Stadium. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Leicester and Republic of Ireland striker, David Connolly. This is Premier League Live. Well, we were speculating about whether Leicester City would make changes, and that is exactly what they are doing, because Harvey Barnes and Ademola Lookman are preparing to come on. So these are going to be positive changes. Most of them are skillful, attacking-minded midfield players. We're just waiting to get confirmation of who comes off. But clearly, Brendan Rodgers has decided that the first period wasn't good enough, and he needs to change things around. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Gabriel with a header from a Bukayo Saka corner after only 5 minutes, and that was followed by a neat side-foot finish from Emile Smith-Rowe after Leicester characteristically were unable to clear properly, and they face a 2-goal deficit, and the changes have been made. Harvey Barnes was a goal scorer in midweek when Leicester City drew with Brighton in the League Cup before winning on penalties. The Arsenal team coming out of the tunnel, I don't think there's been any changes for them, but Leicester are going to approach this match differently. It'll be interesting to see whether Amate is one of those who's been substituted, and whether that means that things are going to change. But Michael Oliver is about to get us underway for the second period. Arsenal will be hoping for more of the same. Leicester will be hoping for a big improvement. Jamie Vardy, hands on hips. Leicester wearing blue and white. Arsenal in sort of all pale yellow, as Johnny Evans knocks the ball upfield towards Harvey Barnes, who doesn't get a first touch. Tomiyasu is in the way. It's headed forward by Lokonga. Now Barnes will get his touch, but Tomiyasu is quickly there to make sure that it didn't last very long. Here's Soyuncu.
Well, Amate has come off, hasn't he? So they obviously have made one right call here, Brendan Rodgers, and I think has Soumare gone off as well? We'll have to wait and see. No, Soumari's still on.
Iheanacho, apparently.
Iheanacho, yeah.
So that's the double sub. Have they gone to a back four? I think they have, haven't they? Well, maybe not. Soyuncu is on the ball. Gets it back to Johnny Evans.
I think Johnny's playing on his own at the back. He's like a deep line sort of quarterback or whatever here, you know, and Soyuncu's a little bit higher as the other centre half. It might be a 3 with Thomas, but as it is, you know, whoever's made the change, you know, in terms of their shape, we'll have to wait and see what that is. But they just need a better performance on the ball, you know, more positive. And especially when they lose possession, they even look more open now than they would be in the first half, so that would be the threat.
It is a 4, isn't it, with the two Evans and Soyuncu with forming that central defensive partnership. But they've got work to do here, because Aubameyang is steaming forward for Arsenal. They made a wonderful start to the first half. Aubameyang to Smith-Rowe, a good recovery challenge by Johnny Evans. It was nicely slipped through by Aubameyang to Emile Smith-Rowe. Scored in the first half and had his eyes on another there, but the former Manchester United defender from Northern Ireland got back and made a timely intervention, as Arsenal have it again in midfield with Thomas Partey.
But they're just too quickly, Arsenal, and too easily they get past that initial Leicester press, and they're a bit disjointed all over the place.
Here come Arsenal again. It's Bukayo Saka It's a decent ball out wide. Tavares with the ball into the box. That's deflected up, and it's going to be a corner kick to Arsenal early in the second half. They scored from a corner in the first half when Bukayo Saka expertly picked out the head of Gabriel. It's going to be Emil Smith-Rowe to take this one. It's Arsenal's fifth corner of the game, and Gabriel and his partner in crime, White, have both gone up to try and get on the end of what will be an in-swinger off the right boot of Emil Smith-Rowe. He scored one. Can he turn provider here? In comes the corner. Not a good one. Castagna, who's now playing as a traditional left back rather than a wing back, gets the ball away. It's knocked back in aimlessly by Arsenal, and it bounces once and goes out of play.
Well, I'm going to be amazed, John, if there is no goals in this second half, because looking at Leicester, when they had that passage of play just a few minutes ago, when Leicester were trying to win the ball back high up, they had three players pressing in Arsenal's box, but the rest of the team, their defence was almost on the edge of their own box, so they were so spread out. And in those sorts of spaces, when Leicester are defending the whole pitch, I mean, Arsenal are just going to play through them. So they look very open at this moment in time. Leicester obviously trying to get back in the game, but really vulnerable on the turnover.
Arsenal have a throw in level with the edge of the penalty area on the far side. And taking a while to take it. It's Suarez who steps up, and then that looked like a foul throw to me. I think the crowd spotted it. Here's Lacazette away from Soyuncu, tries to find Aubameyang. Leicester get it clear, and suddenly Soumare is on his way. This is very positive from him, and he's picked out Vardy. Vardy's through ball is blocked by White, who then hammers the ball away on the volley. But it's not a very good clearance. It's headed away on its way for Arsenal by Tomiyasu. It's all been a little bit untidy at the moment. But Leicester, you can hear the fans for the first time. They were very quiet in the first half, stunned by that early goal, and then the second, which followed after 18 minutes. But they seem to have got their voices back, David, the Leicester supporters.
And they just need something to cheer, don't they? You know, any sort of attack, some bit of positive play here.
Here's Thomas. Barnes has peeled away with that awful injury at the end of last season. Here's Thomas. Back to Barnes again. There's a lot of space for here down the left-hand side. It's a useful ball in towards Vardy. It's well defended, though, by Arsenal, but Leicester are continuing to try and come forward. Tomiyasu scrapes it away, but they're back in possession, Leicester, now with Harvey Barnes. Barnes crosses, and it's left by Gabriel. Those changes to Leicester mean that they have Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Now they now have a back four, which is Timothy Castagna, Johnny Evans, Chaglar Soyuncu and Luke Thomas. In midfield, Boubakary Soumare, Yuri Tielemans and James Maddison, and up front Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy and Ademola Lookman. Arsenal with Aaron Ramsdale, who made two magnificent saves in the first half, in goal. Takehiro Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, who got the opening goal, and Nuno Tavares, who's been excellent at the back. Thomas Partey and Albert Lokonga holding, and then Bukayo Saka on his 100th Arsenal appearance with Emil Smith-Rowe and the two front men, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette. Well, Leicester have conceded two away or home goals to Arsenal. Only Burnley had conceded to them before, and at the moment they still lead by those two goals. Here's Barnes finding Maddison, whose free kick was so brilliantly saved by Ramsdale close to half-time. This is Soumare, and now Johnny Evans. They've certainly enjoyed more of the ball in the early part of the second period. Here's Ademola Lookman's first touch, and he's lost it. It's Tavares. That's a lovely chip to Smith-Rowe, collects the ball beautifully and drives forward. Emil Smith-Rowe, nice feet, finds Aubameyang. Aubameyang trying to get it out to the fullback Tavares, but Johnny Evans did well to win the ball back for Leicester City. Here's Tielemans finding Maddison. Maddison to Vardy. This is much more positive from Leicester City. It's Jamie Vardy, but there's no one in the box, but Barnes was on the edge of it, and Arsenal didn't really pick him up. He got a first-time shot in. It was a long way wide, but you can hear from the applause that is so much better from Leicester City.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I say, the pass from Maddison is actually on the wrong side of Vardy. He wants it on the inside of Gabriel. Instead, he's forced wide outside the box. There's nobody making the box apart from Harvey Barnes, who comes from the wide left position to central, and actually Vardy picked him out of a really good little cutback cross, but he couldn't quite direct the finish on target.
Ramsdale with another good clearance, which finds Aubameyang. Here's Lokonga finding Partey, who's drifted across halfway and found Tomiyasu on this near side. Interesting situation with that goal kick. It was taken by a defender to the goalkeeper. It's usually the other way round. Here's Lacazette. That's the faith they've got in Ramsdale. Lacazette's ball forward is a wayward one, and it bounces behind. Eddie Kenny said, if this is Brendan Rodgers' audition for the Manchester United manager's seat, he's put a perfect foot forward. Slow start, no pressure on the ball, or work rate behind 2-0 at home. That's a sarcastic comment there. Joe Ely's with us. Good morning from Indiana. Happy Brendan Rodgers didn't wait till the arm out to make the changes. Decisive move, hope it's effective. Well, they've been better so far in the opening 8 minutes of the second half than they were for the majority of the first. The ball is with Luke Thomas in for the injured Ricardo Pereira today. Soyuncu back to Kasper Schmeichel in an all dark goalkeeping kit today.
I think Harvey Barnes obviously is a player who I really like. If you look at him last season, I thought he's probably their best player last season. Out the side, and I know Brendan has said, he's not guaranteed, everyone's got to earn the right, but I think when he's fit and he's on form, Harvey Barnes, there's no one better in a blue shirt. He's up there with your Vardys and your Tielemans and of this world, and he's had a good impact since he's come on. He's nice and bright.
But for the injury, he might well have gone to the Euros with England. Here is Harvey Barnes wearing number 7 this season, and getting round Tomiyasu, but having to check back due to the presence of the Japanese defender. Leicester have it with Tielemans. That's a good ball. Here's a chance for Thomas, and he's put it wide. He's not a prolific goal scorer by any means. Luke Thomas scored against Manchester United last season. It was a lovely ball by Tielemans, and he did well initially to set up the shot, but he's put it wide, and that might be costly for Leicester. Yeah,
it's just his second touch just put the ball right underneath his body, so he had to hit the ball straight, and it just meant he was always angling wide. He was unlucky though. The pass into him from Tielemans was terrific with his left foot.
It was. There's so much more positivity about Leicester City in this second half.
Well, they're passing,
and ball is played and it's deflected almost towards Maddison, and Partey is there to knock it away for a corner. Listen to the roar from the East Midlands faithful. They are a different proposition both on the pitch and in the stands, Leicester City, and they've got a corner, only their second of the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say their passing has been much more progressive and been quicker. The intensity, everything they're doing at this moment in time, with and without the ball, has been better, but especially with.
James Maddison is the set-piece man. We've had 10 minutes of the second half. If Leicester can get a goal here, it could become very, very interesting. It's going to be an outswinger from the England midfielder. In it comes, headed away by Gabriel, only as far as Thomas, who spoons it back in. It's too close to Ramsdale, and he's very happy to ball out of the air. But Arsenal, well, they haven't really been in the game particularly, have they? Schmeichel has had little to do in the second half. He didn't have a great deal to do in the first half, to be honest, but here's Soumare. It's all Leicester at the moment. Foul by Lacazette, centre of the field. It's going to be a free kick to Leicester City. 56 minutes played, and it's a different game in a sense, but it won't matter unless Leicester can pull one back. Maddison has already decided that he's going to take charge of the free kick, which is bang in the centre, midway inside the Leicester half. It looks like Martin Ødegaard is about to come on for Arsenal. They're going to take this free kick first, though, and Maddison has 7 teammates in and around the penalty area. Clips it away wide, tries to find Soyuncu, heads it back. Ademola Lookman is comprehensively beaten in the air, and then the subsequent shot by Tielemans is not of the quality that Leicester fans have recently come to enjoy. He's spooned it over the bar.
Well, maybe Mikel Arteta has seen enough here. Whether he wants, a bit more urgency, wants a change, some energy in the side to retain the ball a bit better, possibly.
It's Lacazette who's coming off. So Odegaard, who scored that only other away goal for Arsenal, brilliant free kick in the win against Burnley.
Well, that might mean as well, John, that maybe Odegaard plays as the 10 and Smith Rowe moves over to the left-hand side. We'll have to wait and see how they shape up here. But obviously they've got, in effect, 2 number 10s on the pitch, but Smith Rowe can play that left side.
Lacazette got a couple of goals in the past against Leicester City, but not today. Hasn't had too many opportunities as Evans heads it forward. Gabriel away for Arsenal. Tielemans midfield for Leicester. Finds Jamie Vardy, clever back heel. Here's Ademola Lookman. Brilliant save again by Ramsdale. Lookman darting down the inside right channel. Firm shot from an angle. Really strong right hand by the Arsenal goalkeeper, who's now made 3 super saves.
Yeah, to be honest though, he shouldn't be allowed to make that save. If he goes across goal here, Lookman, I think he scores. Instead he tries to beat Ramsdale at his near post, and he spread himself well. If he goes low through the legs or down low into the corner, I think Lookman scores.
It's a corner to Leicester City, who only had 1 in the opening half. They've had 2 in quick succession here. It's Maddison again. Evans and Soyuncu have gone up, and Michael Oliver's just going to have a word with Johnny Evans and it's Albert Lokonga, who got a little bit close to each other for comfort. He's warning them. Now the corner will be taken by James Maddison. Leicester desperate to get something back in the game, but again it's Gabriel with a good clearing header. Here's Soumare finding Tielemans. Tielemans out to Maddison. Again, Maddison's cross is blocked by the first defender, but then flicked on by Evans, only half cleared by Arsenal. Maddison with a lovely turn, and then good tackle by the Gunners, and suddenly they're on their way potentially with Aubameyang on the far side, picking up the pass from Odegaard. Back from Tavares to Ramsdale, who again doesn't make a very good clearance. Soumare comes forward. It's all Leicester now. It's completely changed this game. Tielemans thinks about a cross, then delays, but plays a lovely ball in. It's Maddison inside the area. Good tackle by Tomiyasu. Still Leicester come forward with Tielemans, who drives it behind via a deflection from the Japanese Tomiyasu. And with an hour played, Leicester City are hammering pretty heavily on the Arsenal door.
Yeah, they've certainly turned the tide a little bit here. I mean, Ramsdale with that sort of Schmeichel-less save there, wasn't it, in terms of he spread himself from Ademola Lookman. They just need to try and see this out, Arsenal. And when they do turn the ball over and they get it back, just retain it for a little bit. I mean, they can't string 2 passes together, which is putting them under an awful lot of pressure.
Third corner in quick succession. Same situation. Maddison with an outswinger from the far side. Up goes Soyuncu. It's cleared by Arsenal. Flicked on by Aubameyang, but they cannot get out of their own half at the moment. And Leicester will come again with Castagna. It's a nice neat ball through midfield to find Soumare in a bit of space. Now it's James Maddison. Maddison lost it towards the far post. Ramsdale's there ahead of Evans. Both of them go down rather painfully. Ramsdale's not happy with Johnny Evans, and there's a bit of a spat going on now. Players from both sides getting involved, and Arsenal players, I think, very wisely dragging their goalkeeper away, although Jamie Vardy is still in there to have his say. I thought both players had a right to go for the ball. We're looking at it again here, David. Maybe he came through a little bit late there, Evans, but probably no need for Ramsdale's reaction.
No, I mean, look, Johnny's pretty honest and he's tough as nails, tough as teak, Johnny is, and look, he might have caught Ramsdale, but just get on with it.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
No.
I mean,
it's not as if the ball was spilt and a goal was scored. He's hung on. The referee's done nothing. He's kept his I just wonder whether that's rattled Ramsdale, because he's just made a poor clearance, put it straight out of play. And it's incredible how this game has shifted. Here's Barnes, great chance. Oh, it's another stupendous save by the Arsenal goalkeeper. Well, that's brilliant goalkeeping again. Very different sort of save with Barnes darting forward. This time he came out and he made himself big, and he gave him nothing to aim at really. But it's another corner to Leicester. But the Arsenal goalkeeper has been outstanding today.
He's like Superman.
He is. Yeah, it was.
I mean, he dived there, flying save. I mean, he didn't save it with his hands.
No.
It came off his legs, and it doesn't really matter at this moment in time.
It's a corner from the opposite side, so it's an in-swinger this time from Maddison. And Arsenal clear it, but there was a foul there by Soyuncu. What a change in proceedings. Nate Boogie is with us, having a good morning in Memphis, listening to my Arsenal play well on TalkSport Live. I guess that tweet was a few moments ago, because they're not playing particularly well at the moment. Now then, Ramsdale looks as if he's picked up a groin injury here. That will be a worry, because he's been absolutely magnificent today.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy team, you'll be happy today, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, he's made 4 absolutely sensational saves. He's taken the goal kick, and the Leicester fans were taunting him, and he's taunting them back, which is nice to see. He's got a smile on his face, which suggests that that injury isn't too serious. But he's the central character at the moment in this drama, isn't he?
He is a confident boy. I mean, I saw him for Sheffield United against Swansea, and you know, he has got the personality to play, you know, at this level, and for a club like Arsenal, he's very confident, believes in himself, you know, and he likes to make himself heard. He did even in that Swansea game.
Well,
you know,
that's good from a keeper, isn't it? You don't want a quiet keeper. You want the voice behind the defenders, encouraging them, and at times even organising them.
Well, very rarely do you see these days players interact with fans as well, because you know, there's always something reported, but it looks like he's having a nice sort of this well intention there with the fans.
It was great. I mean, the chant is an old-fashioned one that fans chant. I don't know why when goalkeepers take a goal kick. I can't tell you what it is, because it's got a rude word in it, but
you're not very good, basically.
You're rubbish is the chant, and he responded very good-natured. Arsenal have a free kick. Bukayo Saka floats it in towards the far post. It's headed away by Soyuncu. That's about as close as Arsenal have come to Schmeichel's goal in the second half, which is already 19 minutes old. Here's Ramsdale again, trying to find Saka. It brushes off the top of his head. Arsenal haven't been in the game at all in the second half. It's been a funny kind of game, because Arsenal were utterly dominant. But in terms of since the second goal, you could argue that Leicester have had 4 brilliant chances to score, all of which have been repelled by Arsenal's keeper. Well, the Leicester fans are in good voice now, but they've still got nothing to show yet. Here's Soyuncu coming through the middle. It's a good run by the defender, and he's found Ademola Lookman. Lookman's early ball in towards Vardy, well defended by White. Comes out to Maddison. Here's Thomas, and now Harvey Barnes on the near side for Leicester, looking to maybe curl one, which he did, but it really under hit by him, and Ramsdale making probably his most routine save of the afternoon so far.
Absolutely. Look, if Harvey Barnes can't score from 6 against Ramsdale, why he takes this on from nearly 26, I don't know.
Yeah, ambitious. Ramsdale's gone for the overarm bowl out to the centre of midfield. Oh, goodness me, the 3 players have gone down like 9 pins there. Doesn't make sense, does it? 3 players going down like 9 pins, but you know what I mean, like a bowling alley. One of them was Smith Rowe. Ball forward. Arsenal have been very uninventive in the second half, when you consider how much they dominated the opening half hour of the first.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
peculiar performance.
Yeah, it has. I mean, I guess bar in the first half an hour, they've been pretty wasteful in possession, Arsenal, haven't they?
Here's ball forward towards Maddison. White will get there first. Ramsdale clears with his right foot. Controlled in midfield by Soumare, who spins it out wide to Castagna. And Belgian international gets the ball infield to his countryman Tielemans, and Castagna again just overcooked the cross. To be kept in though well by Thomas. Thomas gets it back in for Leicester. It's cleared on the volley by Gabriel, and now Leicester bring it back to Soyuncu. They're absolutely rampant, but they can't find a way through at the moment. It's Yuri Tielemans to Vardy, and he's headed wide. first real sight of goal that Jamie Vardy's had. Not an easy chance. The low cross in by Tielemans. He was running away from goal, really. It would have taken quite something to steer into the net. But, of course, Arsenal know all about what Jamie Vardy is capable of. 11 goals against them in the past, but that was a long way wide.
It was, but, I mean, it's the first time he's really got away from Ben White. Ben White's, he's been on him. He's almost shadowed him the whole game, and it's the first time Vardy's got 3 of him in the box. Couple of yards, great little run across Ben White, but he just couldn't quite direct the header on target.
Michael Oliver tells Ramsdale to get on with it. Long free kick up towards Aubameyang. Was he wrestled to the ground? There he was. And that'll be a yellow card, and I think a deserved one. It was Johnny Evans who knew that the Arsenal captain had spun him there and
he was in on
back.
goal. He was in on goal there. He was completely by because Johnny's
not sure it's a clear-cut chance though.
Wow, he's the last man. I mean,
he is the last man. It's a long way from goal.
Well, I mean, he's got the free run there to go right at goal.
It's worth a debate. I'll grant you. It is only a yellow. My feeling is a red would be slightly harsh given the amount.
Well, that's what
that's what Aubameyang's saying to the ref, isn't
Absolutely.
he? Yeah. He said it to Evans
and
as well.
And that's what Mikel Arteta is going to be saying to them as well.
Yeah, he's saying to the fourth official, but I don't know. I mean, you're a striker. Is it a clear-cut opportunity if you're only 10 yards inside the
hang on a minute.
Half?
As that ball bounced, if Johnny Evans lets go, he's basically bearing down on goal. He's 20 yards from goal. He's 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I mean,
so. Is it clear? Is maybe the word clear important here? Goal-scoring opportunity, yes. Clear? Maybe not. I don't know. It's literally, it's somewhat.
Well,
45 yards from goal. Yeah. Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal.
He had a clear run at goal, though. I know that was clear.
You're absolutely. So, Leicester will be furious if Arsenal take advantage of this free kick because they've been absolutely dominant second half. It's a good one. It's Aubameyang. It's a brilliant cross on the volley. Really, really top quality cross, and Castagna has got in the way. That was a magnificent free kick move by Arsenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just wondered whether he was going for goal. He could have gone for goal there. He just tried to help it back in, but the header from Castagna probably stops a certain goal for Ben White.
Yeah, White was diving in. Smith Rowe was there as well. And it's a corner to Arsenal, which Emile Smith Rowe will take far side, so it's a right-footed in swinger. Oh, and they've left a man loose at the far post. It was Aubameyang, and I think it was smuggled away by either Schmeichel or a defender. Leicester took their eye off the ball there from the in-swinging corner, and Aubameyang made contact and was very close there to making it 3-1. It was a good save by the Leicester keeper.
Yeah, just at the foot. Just came off the foot of Schmeichel. We didn't really know too much about it, but nonetheless, good save.
Here's Ødegaard. Arsenal look invigorated here. It's Bukayo Saka who tries to curl it. It's half cleared. It might drop again for Saka, who tries to cross when he might have shot. Leicester smuggle the ball away, and the referee has halted proceedings. And suddenly, it's Arsenal asking all the questions in this pendulum of a second half.
Yeah, I mean, Saka just received the ball in the right-hand side of the box. You know he always wants to come infield onto his favoured left. Shot was blocked, little ricochet. As the ball comes back to him, he is offside. But, I mean, Aubameyang with that chance from the corner on the sort of half volley just bounced down in front of him. I think if it was maybe to the right-hand side of Schmeichel, he wouldn't have saved it. But as it was, went at the near post and Schmeichel just kicked it away.
Substitution for Leicester. James Maddison has gone off and Patson Daka has come on. Player who scored against Manchester United in the Premier League win. Here's Ødegaard. Here's Saka. And he's tried to curl it again, and once again he's got it all wrong as the ball goes spooning over the bar. Mikel Arteta is in a very different mood from the one he was in the first half. He seemed fairly composed in the first half when things were going well for Arsenal. Now he's hopping up and down, agitated and disappointed that Saka couldn't make more of that. Patson Daka, I was mentioning, got the goal in the 4-2 win against Manchester United that sealed that win, and then got 4 in Moscow, and as a result became Leicester's joint European top scorer. Well, that was Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, that was a really nice disguised pass from Ødegaard, who received the ball just in the pocket off the front and faked to go to his left, but reversed it to his right to Saka, again cut in field, but this time got under the ball and ballooned it over the bar.
Less than 20 minutes to go. Leicester, for all their dominance, have not managed to chip away at Arsenal's lead yet. And the Gunners have had a few moments of their own in the last 5 minutes or so. Leicester have it now with Tielemans, but he's blocked by Smith Rowe. Here's Lokonga in centre midfield, finding his partner Thomas Partey. Partey plays a good ball into Saka, who lifts it over the head of Thomas, but Soyuncu is covering, but he's played a poor ball, and Tomiyasu finds Ødegaard. Here's Martin Ødegaard now finding Bukayo Saka. Saka shapes to cross, instead it's diagonal to Partey, and now Lokonga, and suddenly it's Leicester City who are backs to the wall. It's a bit like a basketball match this second half, hasn't it? It's at the feet of Schmeichel. 18 minutes to go. Johnny Evans on the edge of the penalty area, back to Kasper Schmeichel, and his clearance is intercepted. Tomiyasu does well to find Saka again, and now it's Ødegaard. Well, that's a lovely ball over the top towards Bukayo Saka. Aubameyang's in the box, but Saka can't find him. It was a rather poor delivery, and it was controlled on the edge of the box by Tielemans, who finds Harvey Barnes now. He feels he was pushed there by Tomiyasu. Not sure what Michael Oliver is going to make of that.
Well, he's given Tomiyasu a real tough time in the second half since he's come on, Harvey Barnes, because he's so direct. I mean, Tomiyasu with the ball great going forward, but defensively was never tested in the first 45, but he certainly has up against Harvey Barnes in the second.
Brent Parker, Russell Hargreaves' mate, the cafe owner from Montana, says, "Come on, you Gunners." Brent, you can listen to your favourite commentator after this. Russell Hargreaves will be with Kev Watson for Liverpool against Brighton, as Jurgen Klopp's men look to extend their unbeaten start to the season. Here it's still 2-0 to the Gunners, but Tielemans has drifted the ball in, and it's flicked wide by Harvey Barnes. Thought for a moment that was going to evade Aaron Ramsdale. Tielemans cross, and Harvey Barnes, good movement, couldn't quite get enough on it to steer it inside rather than outside the post. Yeah,
it's not a contact, it's not a clean contact from Harvey Barnes. Look, if Arsenal aren't going to close down Youri Tielemans, he will put delivery after delivery into the box, and he has got the quality. They've got to close him down quicker.
Vardy's gone in late there on Ben White, and will get a yellow card for that. Second Leicester player to be booked today following Johnny Evans, and a bit naughty that from Vardy, wasn't it? The ball had long gone. Booking for Vardy. 15 minutes to go. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2. Arsenal have won on their last 2 visits to this stadium, both last season, one in the league and one in the Carabao Cup. White is still down, which means we have a break in proceedings. I can remind you about what's coming up after that Liverpool-Brighton game. You won't want to miss Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United with Tom Rennie and the former Manchester United and England fullback Paul Parker. That's at 5:30 this afternoon. Also at 3 o'clock there are a quartet of important games at both ends of the table. Manchester City against Crystal Palace and Newcastle United against Chelsea regarding the top, and the bottom, Burnley against Brentford and Watford against Southampton. Here Arsenal's 2 early goals still the difference. Leicester have been so much better in the second half. If they don't get anything out of this game, they will be ruining an inconsistent performance. They were awful first half. Brendan Rodgers made the changes. He brought on Lookman and Barnes. It's made a big difference, but not quite big enough for Leicester, unless they can use the last 15 minutes productively. That's good play by Lokonga. And now chance for Arsenal to get forward as a Leicester player is down injured. I think it's Tielemans, is it?
Daka,
I beg your pardon.
He'll be all right.
He hasn't got into the game yet, has he, Daka? Here's Partey finding Saka on the right-hand side. Long shadows as the Knights draw in. The clocks go back in the UK this weekend. So we'll have less day but Lokonga. And Michael Oliver was on the spot to notice that the Belgian had been fouled, and Arsenal will have a free kick in advanced position Probably too far for a shot on goal, but an opportunity potentially for Emile Smith-Rowe maybe to produce something. Arsenal fans singing about their invincibles, the 49 undefeated song. And they could make it 9 undefeated in their current run if they can hang on to this lead, or maybe increase it. They have a free kick inside the Leicester half. It's a shallow delivery which is repelled quite easily, and then good play by Daka, who tries to get down the line but then makes a mess of it and puts the ball out of play. The former Salzburg man. It's only his 9th appearance of the season. 5 goals, including that 4 in Moscow famously. Arsenal go for the long throw towards Aubameyang in the corner. Evans has to defend it, and defends it by putting it straight out of play. 12.5 minutes to go at the King Power. Arsenal heading, it seems, for their 2nd away win of the season, having beaten Burnley earlier. They had the worst away record in the top 12 this morning. That will improve if they win, and so will their league position. They'll go 5th, Arsenal, depending on what happens elsewhere, of course, this afternoon, and indeed tomorrow, when we've got Norwich against Leeds and Aston Villa against West Ham for you. And on Monday it's Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton. Here's Yuri Tielemans playing it forward to Patson Daka. He finds Harvey Barnes. Barnes to Jamie Vardy. Vardy just outside the penalty area on this left-hand side, slips it in. Barnes has tried to get past his man, and he did that, but he couldn't get past Ramsdale, who again comes to Arsenal's rescue. I mean, with half an hour played, you would not have backed necessarily the Arsenal goalkeeper to be man of the match, but he is at the moment. He hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Harvey Barnes, brilliant again. Great run to the byline.
Tielemans with the corner this time. Maddison having been substituted, and Ramsdale, that's easy. Straight into his gloves. He drops to the ground. He gets a pat on the back from Ben White. And he has been fantastic.
Well, that's the issue when, for example, Maddison goes off and he's the one on all the set pieces. Someone different takes him, this time Tielemans, and the delivery's not quite the same.
Here's Ødegaard for Arsenal. He's not got his through ball right at all there. He's trying to find Aubameyang, who's actually told him, why didn't you put it there? But it didn't come that way. It's ended up at the feet of Kasper Schmeichel.
I mean, he's fed off scraps today, Aubameyang. Yeah, even Lacazette before him. There was...
Had a chance though, didn't he? He was saved by Schmeichel. Good opportunity. And it was good save by the Leicester goalkeeper. 2 excellent goalkeepers, obviously, today. Leicester come forward again. It's Patson Daka on the far side. He can't get past Gabriel. He's done well, Gabriel, not just his goal. He's defended pretty well at the heart of the Arsenal rear guard. Leicester want to take the throw quickly, as they have to. Here's Tielemans. And now Lookman. Lookman thinks about a shot. Instead, it's come to Barnes. Barnes might shoot. Just lost control of the ball at the vital moment, and Thomas Partey brings it away for Arsenal. Can't find Aubameyang. They're trying to get Aubameyang into an advanced position every time, and they're not quite finding him yet. Here's Harvey Barnes inside the box for Leicester. It's a big swing and a missed kick from Vardy, and Arsenal will bring it away again, but they don't look entirely comfortable. Lookman goes flying in. The Arsenal fans are unhappy on that challenge on Ødegaard, who stayed down. Now is Michael Oliver going to produce a card for Lookman? It looks like not even a foul as Leicester come forward. Oh, hang on, he stopped it now because Ødegaard is still down. Vardy's saying, hang on a moment, it's not a head injury, but the referee has decided to stop it.
Well, because
it was wild from Lookman. How did that not get penalised?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is Daka had a similar one and they just played on. That's probably what Jamie Vardy's saying. But nonetheless, I mean, Thomas Partey just dumps the ball in Ødegaard from a couple of yards away and says, right, you deal with that. And obviously he's got a man on his back, and not the best pass from Partey, and Ødegaard sort of suffered the consequences of that.
Nicola Pepe is going to come on for Arsenal in just a moment. Whether it's for Ødegaard or not remains to be seen. We're just having a look at the goals, David, and this was headed in by Gabriel from the corner before Smith-Rowe made it 2-0. At that point you wonder whether Arsenal might go on and get 4 or 5. In truth, but for their goalkeeper, they could conceivably be losing this game because on clear-cut chances, Leicester have had more.
Well, that's what he's there for, right? And that's what you'll always say about goalkeepers, and they love making saves. And he's had to make quite a few today, and a couple of them have been absolutely outstanding. The one for me and Acho obviously tipped round the post, the free kick from Maddison onto the bar, and then to get up, and the reaction after that was wonderful. You know, he probably would have done that 1,000 times in training in the last few weeks. Make one save, you're on the deck, get up, make another one. That's what they love doing, don't they, keepers?
They do. Odegaard is hobbling off. He was hobbling. He's not hobbling quite as much now. I think he's going to come back on. But we are expecting to see Nicolas Pepe come on for the remainder of this game. He scored here in the 3-1 win against Leicester last season, Pepe. He's another one who's a bit of an enigma at £71 million. Now then, here's Ademola Lookman for Leicester City. Goes round the outside, cuts it back. Good clearance by Gabriel. Arsenal, though, on the defensive again as Tielemans shoots, takes a deflection and goes behind, and Leicester City have a corner. 7 minutes of normal time left. I suspect there'll be 3 or 4 added on top of that. There's plenty of time for Leicester City to turn this game on its head. They take a point now as the corner comes in. It's flicked on by Barnes, knocked away by Tavares, then not a very good header by Odegaard. Better one from Gabriel. Gabriel's been really good today, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, he put his head where it hurts there, just got up above Sayonchu. A really important headed clearance from inside the 6-yard box.
Well, it's going to be a good finish. We hoped it would be a decent game. It has been entertaining, no doubt about that. We've seen some fantastic goalkeeping from Aaron Ramsdale. We've seen a game of two halves, really, but Leicester's half, this one, hasn't yet yielded a goal, and it needs to, and it won't there because the ball's been dribbled out of play, to the relief of the Arsenal supporters inside the stadium. And this is the substitution for Arsenal's Bukayo Saka, whose 100th appearance for Arsenal comes to an end. Not bad, is it? 100 appearances at the age of 20.
Wow, amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He's the man who Pepe will replace. And he took the corner beautifully, didn't he, for the Gabriel header. Perfect trajectory and pace on it to make it a header, one of those where it was the delivery of the ball as much as the header that contributed to the goal.
Yep. He just put it into an area, had the pace on it, and said, go on, someone get on there and guide it in, and that's exactly what happened.
Clearance by Ramsdale, very long.
He has got a long kick, hasn't he, Ramsdale? He can reach it,
he can boom it far. He's very good with his feet, isn't he?
Yeah,
and
he is.
He's confident. He's made a couple of misplaced clearances, but generally, and as you say, he's not backwards in coming forwards, is he? Here's Soumare for Leicester City, who are running out of time now. And he's wondering who to find. He picks out Soyuncu, still just inside his own half. Down the line it comes to Thomas. Now it's Soyuncu once more. This was the pattern the first half, where Leicester City had the ball, but Arsenal denied them time and space, and they couldn't get forward at all. It's been much better for them in the second period. This is Tielemans finding Patson Daka. He's been pushed in the back by Lokonga, and it's going to be a free kick to Leicester City midway inside the Arsenal half. It's now or never, really, for Leicester. They've got less than 5 minutes of normal time to try and resurrect their afternoon. Tielemans, who is a very, very good set-piece man with that right foot, chips the ball in. As I say that, it produces an absolutely dreadful free kick. There was a one-man wall of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Tielemans somehow managed to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder than it looks to hit that one-man wall.
Here's Smith Rowe driving forward for Arsenal. If they get a third here on the counter-attack, that'll finish it. They're swarming forward. It's a bad ball. Pepe was hoping to get involved for the first time, and Smith Rowe didn't pick him out. It's uncharacteristic of Smith Rowe, because he's spent the season excelling in those sort of situations, but he couldn't find the right pass there at all.
Yeah, he almost had too many options. He had about three or four players flooding forward ahead of him, and couldn't find any of them in the end.
Here's Tielemans, centre midfield for Leicester City. Nice touch by Barnes, out to Thomas. Thomas flicks it through. Is that a handball by Tommy Yasu?
Yeah.
He's pointing at his shoulder, and I think the referee agrees. It's going to be a throw-in, not a free kick. Time is not of the essence. Also, I suppose it is of the essence for Leicester City as they come forward with Johnny Evans. Everybody in a blue shirt is inside the Arsenal half now, bar Kasper Schmeichel. actually including Kasper Schmeichel, who's wearing a black shirt, so I was right the first time. Here's Soyuncu, edge of the centre circle, finds Soumare. Now Tielemans. Out wide is Barnes, who tries to drift infield beyond Tomiyasu. It's a clever ball. Nice 1-2. Ball into the Arsenal box, well defended by Ben White. It'll be a throw into Leicester City, about 15 yards from the corner flag. Barnes has it, tries the reverse pass towards Vardy, but it doesn't come off, and Arsenal manoeuvre the ball clear neatly. Here's Pepe, that's clever, and he's got away from his man, but Soyuncu did well to get back and regain possession for Leicester.
Well, he tried to turn back there, Pepe, when he was away. If that was, maybe a Saka or whatever, they would have just carried on and gone forward. Instead, he tried to get back, and that just allowed Soyuncu to intercept again.
Poor ball by Leicester. It's gone straight out of play there from Soumare. 2.5 minutes to go of normal time. It looks like Arsenal will end the match in 5th place with 17 points. Do their 5th win of the season. We're looking again at that incredible Ramsdale save from the free kick in the first half. The one thing we haven't mentioned is how far he had to get across to even get a contact on the ball. I mean, he made his ground extraordinarily well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's very agile, isn't he?
Yes.
And that's one thing you have to be as a goalkeeper in the Premier League.
And alert as well, yeah, obviously. Arsenal get it forward. Here's Pepe finding Ødegaard, who's obviously overcome that injury. Pepe again slows it down. Arsenal just need to keep the ball and the job is done, but it's easier said than done, but they've done it well there. As Ramsdale comes out of his penalty area and again shows good feet under pressure to get the ball away. They won't mind that. Arsenal's gone out of play inside the Leicester half, so the Foxes have to come again. It's Johnny Evans. Still a bright day in the East Midlands despite the dropping temperatures associated with this part of the year. That's another poor ball by Soumare. He looks tired, doesn't he? Arsenal are going to make a substitution here with game management in mind. It's Emil Smith-Rowe who scored the second goal going off, and he's been replaced by Sead Kolasinac, the Bosnian defender.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously moved over to that left-hand side once Ødegaard came on, so he can play there, but I imagine Kolasinac will perform that role a little bit more defensive-minded as well. But he finished his goal, took it really well, and he had a really bright opening period, but like a lot of the Arsenal players, sort of regressed a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, they all have really, you're right. Ball is on halfway. We're in the final minute of the 90. It's going to be dramatic now if Leicester City are to get anything at all out of the game. Here's Luke Thomas, who put a good chance wide early in the second half. If any of those chances had gone in, we might be looking at a very different game here, but a combination of his miss and Ramsdale's excellence has seen Arsenal through, it seems. Here's Soyuncu crossing halfway, picks out Harvey Barnes down the line, decent ball. Here's Thomas, and he slithers and slips on the surface, allowing Pepe to bring the ball away. That's call from Pepe, who finds Partey. Partey gets it across field towards Nuno Tavares, another one who's played really well for Arsenal. They have defended well, Arsenal, haven't they? Not just the keeper.
Yep.
I mean, they've had plenty of opportunities, Leicester, and it looks like it's going to be a clean sheet. Leicester City haven't kept a clean sheet since back in August when they beat Wolves, and that's a worry for Brendan Rodgers. Up towards Patson Daka, comes off him, it'll be a throw-in. Actually, it took a bit of, no, it's gone off him. It's a throw-in to Arsenal, which Kolasinac is in no great hurry to take. 5 minutes have been added on, of which we're well into the first. So Kolasinac throws long. It's headed back by Leicester and then flicked back by Partey to Gabriel, who hits it long. This is Soyuncu for Leicester City, who are going to lose for the first time in 5 games in all competitions unless something extraordinary happens here. Soumare loses it again. He's gone right off the boil, hasn't he? Here come Arsenal with Martin Ødegaard in midfield, finding Tomiyasu, and now Pepe and Ødegaard again. Back to Pepe. Pepe's done well since he came on. He just kept possession and he's just pinged the ball around, hasn't he, and frustrated Leicester.
Yeah, which is what I mean when he made the decision to bring him on. I thought, well, is that someone you can trust to retain the ball, Pepe? But he has done since he's come on.
Yeah, so he's just been fouled, and in fact an advantage has been played. Pepe has kept the ball, and Arsenal have it. Their fans are singing songs of triumph as they this is good stuff from Arsenal. They're just keeping the ball, but silly foul in the end, and Leicester will get a free kick. But the last 5 minutes or so they've frustrated Leicester, haven't they?
They just didn't get that goal. I think they had that period at the start of the second half, a good 20-25 minute period, and they didn't get the goal. And it's just proven harder as the half has got on to get back in the game.
Ball forward, Tomiyasu with the header away. Pepe again doing well. Again, he's happy just to knock the ball out of play. We've had 2.5 minutes of the 5 to be added on. There surely isn't time for Leicester City to get 2 goals, but if they were to get 1, you never know. Mikel Arteta, hands in pockets, he's prowling his technical area, as is Brendan Rodgers in his tracksuit. Here's Johnny Evans. Castagna finds Lookman. Evans again, halfway line. This is Soyuncu. Leicester have had 65% of the possession in this game, so it's another one where you just wonder how much these statistics actually tell us, because Arsenal look as if they're going to win 2-0 with 35% possession. They've also had fewer attempts on goal than Leicester, but the thing about Leicester's performance is they were so poor in the first half that they gave themselves too much to do. They did.
And obviously, I think in a lot of these games, the first goal is so important. They got it, Arsenal, and they got another one not too long after that, and gave themselves, Leicester, a mountain to climb at half-time.
Minute and a half to go. Ball is knocked into the stands by Ben White. The job is done for the Gunners. They're going to win away from home. On only the second ground this season, some of the Leicester fans have decided to head for the car park, the bus stop or the pub, depending on their mood. And the Arsenal fans will enjoy the journey back to North London. Here's Vardy, who's had a very quiet game considering his previous exploits against today's opposition. He's had 1 header wide, and that's just about it. Here's Thomas, low ball in, easy for Ramsdale, who I suppose has been the man of the match, hasn't he? He'd have to be, wouldn't he, with those saves? I mean, Arsenal generally played well, but Ramsdale's brilliance has, on another day, if he didn't have such a good game, Leicester might have won this game. It's been a peculiar game, hasn't it, really, where, Arsenal had 45 minutes of almost total dominance, but got themselves the lead, but for their keeper might have been different. Last minute of the 95. Arsenal have a throw-in inside the Leicester City half. Michael Oliver's telling them to get on with it. Tomiyasu will take the throw-in, and he'll probably lob it down the line as far as he can, which he does. It's knocked away out of play again by Leicester City. Michael Oliver has his whistle in his mouth and he's going to blow it any second now. Here's Ødegaard, and that is victory for Arsenal. Both of these teams were in form, but Arsenal have extended their unbeaten run in all competitions to 9 games. They've jumped up into 5th place in the table for the time being. Goals by Gabriel early in the game, 5 minutes with a header, and then Smith Rowe on 18 have made it a final score at the King Power of Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2 on Premier League Live. Saka will deliver it with his left foot. It's going to be an in-swinger from the far side. And flashed in. Gabriel has met the corner at the near post and has steered his header beyond Kasper Schmeichel. And it's Leicester 0, Arsenal 1.
Leicester leave both posts unmarked. So if you get any sort of contact on this, the pace is on the ball in.
Lacazette changes direction, can't get a shot away. Smith Rowe will and scores. 2-0 Arsenal. Well, they've been absolutely outstanding.
The ball is just diverted into the path of Smith Rowe, almost on the penalty spot. He's running onto it. First time, just opens out his body, side foots and sweeps it past the keeper again. Schmeichel didn't move a muscle.
Here's Iheanacho, room for a shot. Oh, it's not far away. That's by a mile the closest Leicester City have come. Iheanacho curling it with his left foot. It might have taken a flick on the way through, actually.
I think it's a save.
Better.
I think it's a save. This is Ramsdale.
Oh, he has, yeah. It's Maddison. Oh, Ramsdale, sensational save, and then off the line from the follow-up. Leicester City desperately close to pulling one back. Gabriel away for Arsenal. Tielemans midfield for Leicester. Finds Jamie Vardy, clever back heel. Here's Ademola Lookman. Brilliant save again by Ramsdale.
To be honest, though, he shouldn't be allowed to make that save. If he goes across goal here, Lookman, I think he scores.
Incredible how this game has shifted. Here's Barnes. Great chance. Oh, it's another stupendous save by the Arsenal goalkeeper. He gave him nothing to aim at, really. But it's another corner to Leicester. But the Arsenal goalkeeper has been outstanding today.
He's like Superman.
He is. Yeah, it was.
I mean, he dived there, flying save. I mean, he didn't save it with his hands. No. It came off his legs, and it doesn't really matter at this moment in time.
Victory for Arsenal. We've run right out of time. Thanks to David Connolly for being with me. Thank you to you for listening. Stay tuned for Liverpool against Brighton. That's it from me, John Anderson. A very good afternoon on Premier League Live.
From the terraces to the touchline, if you're the ultimate football fan, you need to subscribe to the Game Day podcast from TalkSport.
Oh, yes! He's done it again!
It's the twice-weekly Premier League roundup that brings you big-name guests, in-depth previews and tough-tackling analysis from the world's biggest football league.
Oh, what a finish! He's beaten the keeper to it!
Feel the might of the top flight. Subscribe now to the Game Day podcast. Available on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get bowled over with Following On, the fast-paced cricket podcast from TalkSport that'll hit you for 6. It's a pitch-perfect delivery of first-class cricket news.
And that's a beautiful straight drive.
Boasting an impressive strike rate of exclusive big-name guests.
Oh, you little ripper!
And fielding fierce fan reaction.
Oh, that might be out.
Don't get caught out. Subscribe now to the Following On podcast. Available on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
They faced bitter prejudice.
What they had to endure was horrific.
They battled injustice.
Basically, they threw the rule book away.
But their talent was inextinguishable, and they rose to become sporting icons that etched their legacy on the history of English football.
What a strike! What a finish!
Coming in from the Cold is an exclusive 6-part documentary that chronicles the struggles and the triumphs of black footballers in the English game. Join Jessica Crichton as she uncovers the untold stories and hears firsthand from a host of superstar names, including John Barnes, Viv Anderson, Luther Blissett, Andy Cole, Rachel Yankee, John Fashanu, and many more.
These guys went through it all, and they are true inspiration.
Coming in from the Cold, the history of black footballers in the English game. Listen to the full series now, available on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tom Rennie here to tell you about a new soccer podcast called Week in the Tackle with me and Brian Dunseth.
That's right, Tom. Well, join us for new episodes every Monday as we argue about all the top soccer stories we think are worth tackling.
Plus, we'll welcome the occasional guest to join in on the debate.
Strong opinions, big stories, no agenda.
Week in the Tackle, available on Mondays from wherever you get your podcasts.
If it's a big story in soccer, we'll tackle it.
Got an unquenchable thirst for sport? Get up to speed with the day's biggest sports stories with the TalkSport hit. Crammed full of the latest team news, big match previews, and discussing the day's hottest topics.
Then improvement week in, week out.
Plus, get all the latest results and full fan reaction to the biggest events in world sport.
It's a wonderful goal!
Satisfy your thirst for sports news with the TalkSport hit. Subscribe now on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Premier League Live with TalkSport. All the big goals and big moments from the world's biggest football league.
Havertz and in! Chelsea lead at Anfield!
Antonio again inside the penalty area! He's scored again! It's in! It's Patrick Bamford!
It's the most intense league in world football, and we've got all the action right here.
Heung-min Son with the opening Premier League goal of the Nuno era! Hat-trick for Bruno Fernandes! He's kicked off the new season with a treble!
Salah!
Oh, there it is.
There's the goal!
Premier League Live with TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Liverpool against Brighton and Hove Albion from Anfield. I'm your host, Russell Hargreaves, and alongside me, the former Tottenham midfielder Kevin Watson, and this is Premier League Live. Liverpool will go top of the table for a few hours at least if they can get the job done. As Jurgen Klopp's boys' superb run continues. Listen to this, 23 unbeaten in all competitions across last season, and this 24 would be their best run since way back in 1989, and what a team Liverpool had then. It's 14 unbeaten so far this season as well, as they prepare to face a Brighton side who are winless in 4 in the top flight, but remain 6th. Of course, after a fine start to the campaign under Graham Potter, but is that momentum stilling slightly? We'll find out this afternoon in a very, very tough test on a sunny Merseyside. 4th against 6th, and it should be a belter. Liverpool versus Brighton.